Imagine a world where every glowing pixel, every swirling animation, every AI prediction, and every breathtaking scene in a game comes alive because thousands of tiny processors are working together like a silent army. Tonight, we are stepping behind the curtain to explore how GPUs really work, why they feel almost magical, and how they became the engines of our digital universe. In the beginning, computers faced a huge challenge. A single CPU core trying to solve gigantic piles of math alone, like one painter attempting to cover an entire stadium wall before the sun sets. Engineers asked a simple but revolutionary question. What if instead of one painter, we hired 1,000? What if computation could be broken into pieces and solved all at the same time? This idea gave birth to the GPU, a processor that doesn't think deeply but thinks wide, attacking a problem from every angle at once. A GPU is not one brain, it's a swarm. A colony of tiny workers that specialize in simple, repeated math. Each worker is weak alone, but unstoppable when combined with thousands of others. Inside the chip lies a grid of miniature engines, each one capable of multiplying, adding, and transforming numbers at lightning speed. These engines handle the math behind every pixel. The brightness, the shadows, the reflections, the motion. Every image you see on your screen is the result of millions of tiny equations happening instantly. The GPU solves these equations in parallel, meaning all at the same time, like thousands of hands painting a mural with perfect coordination. A CPU is like a brilliant scientist. It thinks deeply and carefully. A GPU is like an army. It moves in massive waves, overwhelming problems through sheer numbers. This makes GPUs perfect for drawing images, because images are repetitive. Millions of pixels needing nearly identical math. But something surprising happened. Scientists realized that neural networks, the brains of artificial intelligence, were also massive piles of repeated math, rows and columns of numbers, matrices, multiplying matrices, layers, transforming layers. Exactly the kind of work GPUs were born to do. Overnight, GPUs escaped the world of graphics and became the engines of machine learning. They turned into the heart of the AI revolution. Training models that recognize faces, translate languages, generate art, predict weather, simulate physics, and understand human speech. If you could shrink yourself and step inside a GPU, you would see a futuristic city made of cores, thousands of them organized into neighborhoods called streaming multiprocessors. Each multiprocessor is like a small factory filled with workers. Scheduling hardware acts like a manager, handing out tasks, making sure no worker is idle and every clock cycle is used. The workers perform elementary operations, multiplications, additions, fusions billions of times per second. These operations accumulate into teraflops, trillions of floating point calculations, happening faster than any human mind could comprehend. Yet all these tiny cores are hungry. They devour data. That's why GPUs have their own special memory, GDDRA, type of RAM built for speed, moving data at hundreds of gigabytes per second. Data rushes through memory channels, like rivers feeding an entire city. When memory flows quickly, the GPU thrives. When it slows, the GPU chokes. This constant movement compute, fetch, compute, fetches the heartbeat of the GPU. Every frame of a video game, every generated image from an AI model, every complex physics simulation relies on this flow. Your phone, your laptop, your gaming console, they all contain GPU. Every swipe animation, every game explosion, every smooth transition is powered by these parallel processors. Even right now, as you watch this video, a GPU is calculating where every pixel should be and what color it must display. The story of GPUs is ultimately the story of parallel thinking. Taking a giant problem, breaking it into tiny, identical tasks, and solving them all at once. GPUs allow scientists to simulate galaxies, fold proteins, explore climate models, and train neural networks with billions of parameters. They are the backbone of modern creativity. Artists use GPUs to render films, generate 3D models, design visual effects, and create entire worlds. Students use them to accelerate coding projects, visualize data, and train AI models. Businesses rely on them to analyze trends, make predictions, and automate tasks. The modern world runs on GPUs. As AI becomes larger and more powerful, GPUs evolve too. Newer generations include special cores for machine learning, like tensor cores that accelerate matrix math even further. They compress data, optimize precision, and perform calculations previously considered impossible. In giant data centers, thousands of GPUs work together like a digital superbrain. They cooperate, communicate, and coordinate through high-speed connections, forming clusters that train AI models spanning trillions of parameters. But despite the complexity, the soul of the GPU remains beautifully simple. Many small workers doing simple jobs, incredibly fast, all at once. And in why GPUs reflect how nature itself solves problems through cooperation and colonies, neuron networks, flocks of birds, waves in the ocean, and even ecosystems rely on massive parallelism. The GPU is humanity's attempt to replicate this pattern in silicon. In the future, GPUs might simulate entire universes, power fully realistic holograms, enable AI companions indistinguishable from humans, or unlock scientific mysteries hidden behind massive equations. But whatever they become, their essence will remain the same. Countless, tiny engines, synchronized in perfect unity, turning numbers into reality. And that is how GPUs work, through parallelism, precision, and the quiet strength of thousands of tiny minds working together. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden machinery of our digital world, make sure to subscribe and join me next time as we explore more secrets behind the technologies shaping our future.